All right, as promised, I said I was going to do an unboxing, and here it is. We're going to start off with the Trainstar, and it's a Volantex product. They just rebranded, so you'll see on the box where it has this, actually down here, it says LAN-U, which is now known as Volantex. So it's a Trainstar, it's a trainer, and you can see everything. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. We're going to take a look at what the contents of the box is, what you'd be getting if you purchase the product through us. We can go over some of the specs here. So you're looking at just a little under 1.5 meters wingspan, so 55 inches, a little bit over that. The length of the model is 41 inches, so it's a nice size model to get going. And this is a ready-to-fly package. It's the only ready-to-fly package we carry in the store, and what that means simply is that it's all-inclusive and it's all you need. So it has inside the box, and you'll see, we're going to take it all out and take a look at it. It has your transmitter. The model is included in here. All the electronics are installed. There's a battery, and there's even a fairly simplistic charger included as well. So everything you need is included. And through the magic of editing, we're going to come back and we're going to show you everything all laid out and what you get included. All right, so here's what we have after you do the unboxing. This is all the components of the actual ready-to-fly package, and although it's listed as ready-to-fly, like a lot of them, there is some minor assembly that's going to be required. Nothing to be intimidated by. One of the first things you want to do is obviously take a look at the instruction manual that comes with it. It's your typical Chinese instruction manual, so it's not perfect, but it's more than enough instruction to help you put together the aircraft successfully. So we'll start with that. You're going to get your instruction manual. It gives you steps 1 through, I don't know how many there are, but in order to put everything together, even some flying tips on the back. So you'd want to leaf through that to begin with. Familiarize yourself with what's included and the steps involved in putting it all together. So we'll set that aside. We'll take a look at some of the electronics. Like I mentioned previously, LAN-U has rebranded itself and it's now known as VolantexRC. And I have several of their models. They're great, again, great products for what you're paying for. So it comes with a very basic little charger and a wall adapter. Plug the wall adapter into the charger and you're pretty much good to go. Plug this into the wall. Comes with the battery, which is 1800 milliamp battery. Balance plug on it. You just plug the balance plug into the charger and that's how you charge the battery. So we'll set that aside. Those are your battery and your charger, and obviously it also comes with a radio. It's pretty basic radio, 2.4 gigahertz radio, which is the industry standard now, but it doesn't have, it's not computerized. It has your basic toggle switches for reversing channels should you need to do so, and it runs off of AA batteries, 8 of those. That's the only thing that's not included. Funny enough, some of the manufacturers will include them, some don't. This one here doesn't have them, so it just takes 8 AA's, and that's pretty much it. A simple on and off toggle switch, some trims, and the servos. I mean, the gimbals they're okay, and for a trainer, really, that's all you're going to need. So we'll set this aside as well, and we'll dive into the actual model. Comes with stickers. They aren't the dry transfer ones. These are vinyl decals, more or less, pressure adhesive. So you just put them on, run your finger over them with a little bit of pressure and they will stick on. It's a nice orange and black trim scheme, which is nice for visibility in the sky, for orientation. So set these guys aside. You're going to get a bag of accessories, and really what's in here, you've got a screwdriver, there's a spinner, the wheel pants, the wheels, the motors in here, the motor mount, the top plate to cover up the joining of the 2 wings. So that's all included in here as well. The clevises, which are the little clasps to hold, they go on the end of the control rods to hook onto the actual control surfaces. It's all included in here, and the wires themselves too. So that package is all there. And then you have the aircraft itself. Well, I should say we've got maybe a couple other additional pieces too. Landing gear, bracket, and propeller. So we'll set those aside too. And an aluminum spar. And this is really the wing joiner. So it joins your two wings together. And maybe we'll start with those. So set that aside. Here's a typical wing panel. So it's molded EPO foam, which is really nice due to the fact that it makes it really durable. And the way they do it is in the molding process, they actually incorporate the spars right into the wing itself. So in here, there is a square aluminum spar, runs from this side all the way over to here. You probably can't see it on camera. So it's a good 1.5 feet. Servo is already installed with the lead. On the actual aileron itself, there's a piece of carbon fiber used to reinforce it. All the hinging on the model, on all the control surfaces I should say, is live hinge. And what we mean by that is that when they mold it, they're just pinching the foam at the hinge line, and the actual hinge itself is made out of compressed foam. On a trainer, there's no issues with that. Some of the more high performance airplanes, what guys will do, they'll add a piece of reinforcing tape just to make sure they don't tear the hinge off doing crazy maneuvers. But on a trainer, you should be absolutely fine. It even has an extra slot molded into the wing for a flap servo, if you so choose to put one on later on. The flap itself is molded on, but they didn't actually cut it out for you. So if you were to actually put a servo in here, run the linkage, and to actually have the flap function, you would simply just have to cut down the side right here, and then you'd have a live flap. But again, that's up to you. Just to start off, you don't need them. You just want to start by learning the basics of the plane. So that's one wing panel. Obviously it comes with two, and the servos all installed on the other one. So we'll set these guys over here. For control surfaces on the tail, you've got an elevator. And again, they've done the same thing. They've added the carbon spars into the molding process. So that's all done for you. It's quite nice. And same thing on the rudder. The rudder is just a straightforward rudder. There's no sparring in this, but it's a fairly dense and stiff piece of foam anyway. And those are all the pieces on the wings and the control surfaces. And this is where it gets interesting. The fuselage, and what I like about this, we also sell a glider, which I fly myself, the Phoenix glider. The body, or the fuselage, is made out of blow molded plastic. And if you think back to the older milk jugs or juice jugs, here's the actual nose of the airplane, and you'll see it's quite flexible, quite durable. So that's something you'd have to install onto the front after you install the motor. It goes on simply like that. There's two screws that hold it on. But the entire fuselage is made out of that plastic. Inside it, to give it some rigidity, they've added a plywood former, which your servos are already mounted into. But it makes for, like, it's durable. It's a very durable structure. So it gives it some, not crash proofing, but it does give it some extra durability, which is kind of nice. So the whole fuselage, from like the nose to the tail, is this blow molded plastic, which is, like I said, very, very nice. You just simply have to mount the motor bracket on here, hook on the leads, and they're all color coded to the motor. And you're pretty much good to go. The speed controller's already installed. The receiver mounted on the side, it's already installed as well. And the wiring for the servos, the rudder, and the elevator are already installed. The speed controller's installed too. Looks like the only other plug you'd have to put in would be the elevator servos, and that's pretty much it. So by following the instructions and a little bit of assembly, I would say probably no more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half, you would have everything good to go. And then it's just a matter of putting on your decals and heading off to the field. And that's really all you get inside the box. It's, like I said, all inclusive, a little bit of assembly time, and you'll be up and running and hopefully up in the air. Thanks.